You guys, did you know that it was Mental Health Awareness Month? Yeah. So I saw it on a billboard yesterday. I had no idea, but I was like, that's right up my alley in regards to me having a pedestal to be able to speak truth in regards to helping others on their spiritual journeys and how to avoid pitfalls. And we're talking about the pitfalls of dealing with someone who's battling mentally. Now, it's a few key signs that I'm speaking from a personal reverence to you, not anything that I heard. It's what I experienced and how I had to put the pieces together and work through this, because if I can help you avoid a pitfall of getting yourself involved with someone who's battling mental illness, and not saying that mental illness is something that is bad, but it's when it's untreated, and then you have those who they want to kind of self-medicate on top of the mental illness, or they want to control, manipulate, deceive others through the eyes of having a mental illness. That's a problem, because somebody like you and I can get caught up in that whole whirlwind of a terrible cycle. So I'm just going to share some pointers with you, but also I want to let you all know I'm going to insert a dream state that I had. It's probably been 4 or 5 nights ago, but it was really alarming for me because the person who I witnessed lost their complete mind is someone who I dealt with, who I know has struggled with mental illness. Whether they want to admit it or not, all the proof is there. All of the heartache that they cause others is there because of their battle and how they choose to continue to self-medicate and not seek any sort of treatment when it comes to whatever it is that they have been diagnosed with. I'm pretty sure that they've sought some sort of help of encouragement somewhere, to where, possibly it's on paper. I don't know. I don't really care. But let me tell you what I experienced. And this is not third-hand information, by the way. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to share with you some key pointers of how to spot somebody who potentially is masking their mental illness. I'm hearing refrain. They refrain, obviously, from showing you who they really are, because I feel like they're heavily plagued behind closed doors, that when they come into, meeting someone, then obviously a relationship envelops, and then, woo, here they go. They don't want this out, y'all. Relationship comes and feelings get involved, but it's not until then do you start to realize, the red flags. But what happens is the mask. They battle so deeply behind closed doors, as I was saying. When they come out, they want to forget their troubles, their worries, and they're hoping that you don't spot it, and they're going to do their damn best to not have you see what it is that's happening with them. So if they're very quiet, like they don't share a lot of their private life, they're waiting for you to possibly initiate conversation, or there's not a lot going on that you would say, oh yeah, I know they're friends, I've met this friend, that friend, this friend. Like if all you're meeting are just like their very close relatives, I feel like that's a sign in itself. Okay, I thought I stopped recording. I had a phone call coming in. But anyway, so when you're meeting these relatives, if they don't have a lot to say about that person, about meeting you, about how they are so excited to meet you because they've heard so many great things about you, that's because they haven't heard anything about you, because this person wants you all to themselves. It's like they got you They feel like, they could maybe keep you as their little pet, their little toy. So it's like hands off to everyone else. And I feel like that just has a lot to do with them losing a lot in life. Whether we're talking about people, loved ones, material things, jobs, resources, networks, friends. They lose a lot of people and things because people eventually catch on. People who grew up with this person, they know this person. So it would make sense that there have been traits that were always there, but as this person gets older, they become more refined. So they're able to hide this. They know the outcome of certain things, so that's what they're holding back. They don't want you to see that part. It's going to eventually come out, but when it does, it's going to alarm you because it's going to be one of those to where it goes to an extreme. It's not one of those, oh, I am so sorry, I did not see you there, I'm sorry. It's not that. It's ram, bump you, knock you down, and then comes the flowers, the cards, that stuff. You may not even hear an apology, but the other stuff trickles in. Y'all, these are all first-hand experience references that I'm giving you. Another thing, so I was saying about the family, if they don't, come with you and with open arms and, oh my gosh, we finally get to meet her. This person's not been talking about you, and the family's looking at you as if they want to know if you're on the same energy wavelength as that person. So, AKA, are you crazy too? That's how they're going to be looking at you. They're waiting for something to happen. It's always like the look on their face. They're waiting for the big aha moment. I knew it. And that moment may never come. So then they're still kind of like worried, but then happy. They're grateful, but then they're like on some sort of standing on expectation that something's going to go wrong because they know this person. They know something's going to go wrong if it hasn't already. And they would be shocked or alarmed if nothing has gone off of the rails in regards to both of you all having like a disagreement, a minor disagreement. Remember what I said, it goes to the extreme. So a minor disagreement can turn into having to call the police. That sort of stuff. They're used to that. They know this. And they want to know if you know it too. And obviously it will come a point to where you're going to have to involve family. You know why? Because you're not going to be able to reason with this person. You're not going to be able to have a decent adult resolution for a conflict that's happening between you. You're going to have to involve somebody else with a clear mind. It's always going to be that way. There's never going to be a point to where you all will have a disagreement and then it's deaded and then y'all get to move on. Fine. No. It's always going to be like some major drama behind it. And we're talking about mental illness, you guys. So I don't care how level-headed you are, it's going to drain the shit out of you. The first couple of times, you're going to be like, wait, what the hell is going on? What is happening here? Because this person's not been diagnosed. That's what's happening. You think about a lot of the people who say they have to firsthand deal with somebody with mental illness. It's draining because this person, they just wear the shit out of you. They do. Is it intentional? Well, it can be. It can be. It just depends on the level of mental illness and then that person who we're dealing with behind the mental illness. So if you hear, these are just more signs. If you hear this person constantly comparing their lives to other people and making themselves feel they should have what others have, that's a sign, and that's a I want to say red flag, but we're talking about mental illness, so they're already deemed red flags. But that's a sign that this person battles mentally, because they're always looking at other people instead of worrying about themselves and how they can grow and build and be great and help change the world and lives around them and benefit from, the duties of doing so. No, they're worried, why is such and such driving a Mercedes and I'm walking? Why is such and such, every time I turn around, they got a brand new pair of whatever on? Why is it that's another sign for you, mental illness. Let's see, I got plenty, y'all. I got plenty. Let's see, I'm gonna hit you with one more. So the extreme part, because this one's on my mind heavy. This person can, with the whole thing of, I would never, me personally, I would never wish death upon anyone. I don't care how bad you hurt me. That's not my go-to. My go-to is not wishing that, you were done, you were gone, you were out of here today, yesterday. That's not me. But understanding that they don't have any sort of sense of consciousness or feelings, or because they're playing with their mental. They want to play with others' mentals, so they don't care about your feelings. So my thing is, them not having a conscience that what you put out is going to come back to you. That's a problem. That's a problem. So it might be one of those things to where they say something really hateful or cruel or just downright just awful. They say it without having any regard for your feelings. That's another sign for you. Mental illness. It's like, is anybody home in there? When you look into their eyes, is anybody home? No one's home. No one's home. There's no feelings there. And another thing, with the mask wearing, they're giving off something totally opposite of how they really feel. Like homophobic slurs out loud in the streets for everybody to hear. That's not normal. That's not normal. I don't know if this person thought it was funny. It's not normal, and that's not any way that anyone should carry on. But what is that's a cry. That's a cry out for help, because they don't know how to deal with their own feelings of homosexuality, period. So if you ever hear them disparaging homosexuals, gays, I would keep a close eye on them, because they're the ones who are struggling with those same feelings. But when it comes out of their mouths, it's hatred. That's a clear sign that this person's battling mentally, and in that regard with their sexuality. So the dream that I had, I didn't get to finish telling y'all. This person lost their absolute rabid mind in the dream, and I was able to see it. Of course, I had a calm head. I wanted to treat this person as I always, how I'd known them years ago, and just kind of trying to talk to them like that. But this person was scattered, physically and mentally gone, scattered. And they had, even, that might be TMI, but even in the dream, they had their face buried in another man's crotch. What was fellatio looked like to me, the man had his thing out, and this person was all in the crotch area with their face. So it was one of those things, like, I saw it, I accepted it, and then tried to ignore what I was seeing. The guy he was with was just kind of laughing it off, pushing his head away, like, oh, he's okay, like trying to show me that, oh, it's okay, as if this is something that occurs a lot. But what it says to me, days after the dream, is that this person became someone's pet. Not like a loving pet, but like a tortured animal. Do what you want with this person sort of pet, that sort of thing. With the whole characterizations of the mental health, and not the mind gone, and they're just subjective to, just doing I don't want to say crude as in fellatio is crude. That's not what I'm saying, but But you kind of want to not do that in front of people, or have some sort of conscious that, oh, there's somebody in the room, maybe I shouldn't do that right now. That's why I said the mind's gone. I've had dreams about this individual before in regards to being in a mental health institution, even where the workers were coming in and out, like clocking in and out, like, oh, hey, like it was just a cat around, but it was a cat, but that person turned into a cat. So like having like a house cat, everybody just kind of, hey, because they're harmless, like, like they know that this person's no threat because they're gone, or either they were just highly medicated that they were no threat. Another reference that I had with the person losing their mind, it was another dream. I don't know. I don't want to get off into that too much, but like I said, this is firsthand information from me to you. It's for you to be able to identify and look out for these signs. Oh, and if you see this person having a conversation with themselves, like full-on hand gestures and everything, this person, I wouldn't say, oh, they're just crazy, because I didn't do that to this person. I didn't say, to me, it was just like I caught them again doing it, but I didn't know how to, I didn't, like, again, I love this person, care for this person. I didn't want to deem them as crazy. That wasn't a move for me. I wasn't going to be disparaging in that way. So I was like, okay, that's just something that they do. Not knowing that, later on, fast forward, once it was too late, this person was entertaining spirits, unclean ones. But I know this now. Like, I'm talking about laughing, not laughing, but a little smirk. But then it's like when y'all, when they would see me, because they were in their own world, but if I'm standing there, I'm seeing you and you still carrying on, it means you're not even conscious and I'm standing there looking at you. But when the connection was made for them to realize that I was watching them, then it was like, what? Yeah, that what, like catching them, or they want to know what you know. That's another sign, y'all, that they're not wanting to put too much into something before you find out something. So it's like they want to know what you know first. Remember when I was telling you about them being kind of quiet, not giving a lot of information? And another thing, you guys, if you have to sit down with a relative and ask them if there's something that you need to know about this person, it's already too late. You already know the vibes. You've already answered your own question. So my advice to you, if you don't have any ties with this person, pack it up and go. Love heals things, but not all things. It's not going to be worth you going through the mental anguish of this person not wanting to get help, or at least acknowledgement that they need help. Even family being in denial about this relative needing help. All right, you guys, I hope this helps.